What is it like when you go home now?
Yeah.
And have this conversation? So are you erasing your father from
yes
everything?
In White Supremacy. We're here. We're energized. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. We want all the smoke. We want all the smoke. What's up? My name is Jasiri X. I'm co-founder, CEO of One Hood Media. And to my immediate right. Wow. That seemed extra long, right? Is that a new one?
No.
Oh, okay. Miracle, what's up?
I didn't hear the first part.
Because you were putting your headphones in. That's why.
It was.
I didn't hear. It's
I think I was still talking while he did it. Like he kind of.
No,
want to do it again?
You're chewing up airtime.
It's a miracle.
Let's go.
Thank you. First, calm down with that light skin rage.
Oh, you sound like an angry black woman right now.
Wow.
Something you could never be.
Wow.
But it's okay.
Wow.
Why would I want to be?
Stereotypes from the beginning. Let's get all the tropes out.
Let's do it. Come on.
Something he just never mind.
Yes.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
It's your girl Miracle. AKA Big Blessing with the Big Blessing.
Yes.
Here to bring love, positivity, and radiance to this wonderful
The irony
program.
is crazy.
The radiance. Wow,
man.
It's okay.
Wow.
You did not choose peace just now.
I always choose
It's okay.
peace.
It's okay to choose
I
violence
match
sometimes.
energy.
Yes. And my brother.
It's your boy, Treble Not Light Skin.
Oh wow.
Niggas
Straight from
never
straight
like
from the gate.
supremacy. You feel
Yeah.
me?
You just lost half our audience.
Yeah.
Next level shaman. You feel me?
Well, we're the other half, right? Here.
Yeah. You know.
And this is your second television appearance,
Oh
right?
yes,
This morning.
indeed. Uh-huh.
Yes. We'll get into that
Out here.
a little bit later on. And my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
I don't know why he over here laughing.
Nah. It's me,
Yes.
Who are you?
Osama Himla.
Oh,
Osama Him Laden.
he's really going with that.
Yeah, you really are.
I love it, man.
You
It's,
really are.
listen.
He's not stopping.
Osama Him Laden, man.
Himothy Turner.
The Himothy Turner, him Duncan, Hemi Neutron. You get me? The supreme Asiatic intelligently divine.
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein, bruv.
Come on, man.
That was trouble, not me.
He's going to use all the terrorists. Huh?
Wait. Him Jong Il.
Him Jong Il is insane. Very, very bad. Oh. So, woo! We done? We good?
I'm sweating. I drooled on myself.
Like, who's not laughing?
Okay.
Transition.
I was about to say the government. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
They already got 5 taps on your phone.
Man.
Let's make it 6.
Him Jong Il is crazy.
Him Jong Il is crazy. Is that you going to change your Instagram name now?
I'm about to.
Him Jong Il mid-show. He's doing it mid-show.
Him Jong Il, bruv.
So I think one of the purposes of our show, This Week in White Supremacy, is to show people, there are still people who do not believe like white supremacy and white privilege exists.
Which is crazy, but continue.
Crazy is the thing, right? So obviously you're in a fantasy world, but there's some great examples of the undisputable fact of white supremacy and white privilege.
Some would say that's an opinion. The people that critique on our show say we only give opinions.
So listen. Mm-hmm. So this is what I find fascinating. So when you look at right now, the champion of white people, white supremacy is Donald Trump, right? Okay. And one of the things they love about Donald Trump is that Donald Trump is arrogant, right? That Donald Trump is out here talking stuff on his opponents, right? Mm-hmm. Donald Trump is always giving somebody a nickname, right? Sleepy Joe, Didn't he call somebody like tiny hands or something? Said somebody had like little
Pudding
hands
fingers.
or something. Right.
Pudding fingers is the best one. Yeah.
Little Mark Rubio.
Oh, I forgot. That was wild disrespectful.
Yeah, wild disrespectful. Calling Ted Cruz's wife ugly. Like, your wife's ugly is a wife. I mean, we're trying to debate to be who president of the United States. Nigga, your wife too ugly to be first lady. I mean, think about how crazy that is.
That's crazy.
But they love the fact that Trump, like, won't bend, won't break, continuously, like, is talking his shit.
Right.
Right? So now all of a sudden, all these other white people come. Now here's Elon Musk, right? On X. And he might be on X for real, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying on
Might be. Maybe.
on the app, right? Talking his shit, right? Ron DeSantis now talking his shit. White people love it. They love it. Until a black man steps up and talks his shit. Is arrogant in his success. We're not talking about just some regular brother, right? Mm-hmm. We're talking about, you could argue that Deion Sanders is the greatest, one of the greatest athletes. You could argue he's the greatest athlete of all time. He's in that argument.
Yeah.
Of greatest athletes. The man won a Super Bowl and a World Series.
The only athlete ever to do that.
Right. Like, played in the NFL and Major League Baseball at the same time, in the same season. I'm leaving the NFL game. I'm going to play baseball game, right? You could argue he is the greatest defensive back of all time, right?
I mean, I would say yes.
Hall of Fame, college Hall of Fame, football Hall of Fame, decided he wants to be a coach. Started off with Little League.
Coach Prime, man.
They said the one guy who's the running back on the team, he coached him when he was like 8 years old. Worked his way up, went to HBCU, put Jackson State. They were broadcasting their games on ESPN. Mm-hmm. Now at Colorado, came out 3-0.
Yeah.
And he recently lost. This week he lost.
I feel like this is like a very, Stephen A. Smith introduction. I'm not mad at it. Keep going.
And white people, now they're happy.
Didn't someone say that Oregon is taking a stand for everybody?
Yes.
Like all of us.
Your favorite person.
Who
Who said that?
You know her? Is this somebody?
Yeah, who is it?
She's formerly of ESPN.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Steele.
Was it Sage Steele?
Yes.
No, it was not. No,
It
this
was.
is a journalist named Kari Steele.
Kari, yeah.
Oh.
Maybe this is Sage's
maybe the
more
burner
racist,
account.
more racist sister. I don't know.
Oh my! In my brain, I thought it was the same person.
No.
Look, misinformation. I just try to put it out there.
Oregon is taking a stand for all of us. Why? Like, why is it when a black man is arrogant in his success, talks his shit, keeps receipts, you know what I'm saying, has something to say for all these people that said his experiment was going to fail, why is it that when he speaks his truth, now all the white people want him to lose? Did I prove my point, or do you all have something to add?
I would honestly say that it's very similar, even though Mike Tomlin wasn't that outspoken about
Mike Tomlin has never been outspoken.
No,
like
but
that.
he's very much, I'm not talking to the media, he's very short, and he's been called arrogant. He's been called a lot of other things by the white media.
Can you like succeed as like a head coach
and be black and then not have
and
like
not
aspersions cast against you?
I'm just saying, and not like, what's wrong with having confidence in yourself?
Nothing.
I mean, isn't like part of sports is that you have to have like a belief in yourself, right? A confidence in yourself that you are the best. I mean, that's how you get to these elite statuses. Why is it okay for Donald Trump or DeSantis to like talk all this shit on the people that disagree with them?
Right.
But then when a black man does it, it's so horrible and he has to.
When who does it?
When a black man does it, like, why do we have to be like,
a blockade?
Yes, like why do we have to be like, thank you, Master, for giving us this opportunity to play your game or coach your game? Like, why do we have to be?
They love to see players. They love to see black people put their bodies on the line. They like to see black people perform for entertainment. And this isn't to say anything against professional athletes, but that's the lens that white people, obviously, generally in the country, like to see black people as. not coaching the team, not running the team, not being outspoken, not being in a place where you can champion your own success and then talk about it. And it's even more annoying that Dion isn't playing no more.
He's not playing. But I would say this, because we've also seen this with players. Remember when Joe Burrow, who's the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, went to the Super Bowl? He had furs on.
He came in with the ice on and everything.
Gold
he was dripped out, man.
And it was people was oh, but when Cam Newton did it, he's arrogant. What's wrong with him? Why is he dressing like that? Why is he acting like this? But when Joe, now it's all cool now. Right. Oh, he's Joe Cool. He's cool. He's so fresh.
They're calling him Broadway Joe all over again.
Right. Yeah. So here are some of the comments. Somebody said the racism towards Deion Sanders is despicable, but we have seen this movie before. Certain kinds of folks have a huge problem with confident and visionary black males, including in sports. Another person tweeted, bro, they're so happy Prime lost. This country hates success for black people. You have a clip from, Deion. And mind you, Deion is already has 3 times as many wins this year as the team had last year.
Right.
3-1. He's already, they got beat, but this is what Deion
trying to beat me. They're not trying to beat our team. They keep forgetting I'm not playing anymore. I had a great career. I'm serious. I got a gold jacket, ain't back. So I'm good. But that's what it really is. I don't think they get any extra satisfaction, It is what it is. And I signed up for it, so let's go. No, that don't make it tough on our team. These are grown men. I'm not out there. If I was out there playing against every coach I played against, we would be totally dominant.
He said, yo, let's go in the back. Let's go out back and square up real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling y'all out. Miracle, do you have any comment on, Deion Sanders and the backlash that he's getting for, talking his shit because he has, been successful this year, although they recently lost?
A great poet of our time once said, it's okay when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Very well done. Very well.
Shout out to Finesse 2 times.
Yes.
No, I do think there is this idea that black people should have to be humble and graceful and thankful for whenever we are at spaces and places we've worked hard for, deserve to be in, and where we enter. And people don't like the braggadocious black person. I think that's one of the reasons why people have an issue with hip hop and rap in general. Yeah. This idea that you're going to be your authentic self and you're going to wear your own hair, hang out with your own people, bring your own culture around. I think people hate it. Last week there was even someone was like, this looks like the BET Hip Hop Awards, right? Because whenever black people show up, it's got to be something different. And instead of saying this is just our normative way of being, it's we need to clamp that down. We need to stamp that down. We need to say this doesn't belong in our league. We need to put noise ordinances out. We need to tell people they can't congregate and be together. And this is what we're seeing. I love Deion. I like how he said, today we're going to act the same as we did last week.
Absolutely.
We're going to have fun. We're still going to turn up. And even what cracks me up was the opposing, that's what I was about to say. Even the opposing players were still doing the hand gesture, of looking look at the wrist. So look at the watch. And so to me, I do think that it's very funny how we keep saying we're post-racial. Yeah. But whenever a black person fails, just the happiness that it brings people, you clearly see that we are not post-racial. Absolutely. And it's different than, people hating on the Cowboys. It's different than people hating on Green Bay because they're hating on the teams and they're very consistent. Yep. This is you're hating on a person because you don't like,
beautifully put,
because you don't like the way he is, his authentic self, and because you haven't been able to break him. His whole entire career, you haven't been able to break him, and not to get too hoteppy, but this is
buck breaking,
right? But this is what it is. You're mad. You're mad that he's wealthy, he's successful. Yes. You've dogged him his whole entire career, and his whole entire career he's believed in himself. Yeah. And this is what we say. Once you have a sense of self, nobody can break you.
No, you make a great point because his whole career, I mean, since he came into the game, must be the money.
Yep.
His whole career, he has been like that.
Even when they were trying to draft him and he was like, he got to read the playbook and everything. He's like, I'm not even going to be available this round to talk to you niggas.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that was like, he was like, I'm not even going to be available. I don't care what your parameters are. I'm not going to be here by the time you want to draft
Absolutely.
me.
He's always done it his way. He's always been like,
He did the
I'm
combine
the
and
best.
he did the combine in just street clothes.
Yeah, I mean, again, like he
Right.
knows who he is, he knows his worth, and he's not afraid to tell you how great he is. And he's been like that, you know, because remember when he got into coaching, it was like, oh, that arrogant stuff isn't going to work here, successful there. Then when he got to Colorado and started, you know, he went in and told the players like, yo, I'm bringing my Louis luggage with me.
Yeah.
Y'all can the transfer portal, use the transfer portal. Everybody was like, oh, he's going to fail. He's going to fail. He's going to fail. His son is going to fail. His son succeeded.
Came in and went 3-0.
He succeeded.
Listen,
Yeah.
all the best coaches lose games. Nick Saban has
always,
lost
yeah.
games, right? Harbaugh has lost games.
Yeah.
Schottenheimer has lost games.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sport it is. If you're a good coach, you can only be good until your number is pulled.
Yeah, you're going to lose.
And the merit of a coach is actually found in how you handle adversity. How you come out of a loss. What do you do with your team? How do you rally behind that? Yeah, and Deion said it on the air. This was a good butt kicking.
Yeah.
That's verbatim. That's what he said. So he's going to still, the thing that's beautiful about that, he has a moment with his son where he walks down the 40-yard line as a coach, and then he walks back the 40-yard line as a father.
Yeah.
And he treats all his players like they're children.
Right.
Like they are still.
Like he's a father figure to them.
And I think the biggest thing that Deion does, which is great, is so like you tend to think of like these professional athletes and these college athletes as grown men.
Yeah.
You come into the NFL like 23, 24.
True.
You're still a youth.
You're still
right?
a youth.
These
Yeah,
are still children playing this game. And he's making sure that they still have childhood and they still have fun while they're doing this. So yeah, they got smacked around. Okay, there was a lot of that going around this weekend. If you watch college and professional sports,
absolutely, yeah.
there
Just
was
like
a
you
lot
said,
of ass whoopings getting handed out this weekend.
And
You play the game, you're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose. Eventually,
But
it happens.
It's that piece of like wanting to see, like you want to like rub his face in something. Just
Right.
because he's arrogant and he has a belief in himself, but you don't look at these white arrogant men in that same manner. Like they don't have to be humble. They don't have to admit. I mean, come on. The Trump running around with 91 felonies.
Come on, man.
And he don't have to be humble. But Deion lost one game and he has to get the fuck out of here. Miracle.
Also, part of this loss is that I forgot, what was it? I want to say his name's Tyler, but I can't really remember, who got hurt last week, who had a lacerated liver.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Travis
Right?
Hunter.
You know, and that Caucasian player that hit him on a late hit still didn't get penalized. You know,
He got penalized,
appropriate,
but he wasn't kicked out of the game.
appropriately.
Yeah.
And there
I
has
agree.
been no like fines or sanctions against the college since then, right?
I mean, he did get death threat. I mean, you
That's
know,
okay. Everybody gets a little death.
He got
We
some
get
street
death
justice.
threats.
You
Everybody
know
get a
what I'm
little
saying?
death threat. What's a little death threat here and now? Everybody gets that.
What's a
in
little
this day.
doxing on the internet?
You know, like,
Happens to us
there
all
was
the
no,
time.
there
We
was no
used to it.
actual consequences for that behavior. And I raised it up to say, like, people feel that they can go against black folks because there's no consequences for that
1,000%.
behavior.
Right.
And so you can have this mob mentality to sit there. And now there are people in Jacksonville who have said that they are going to hate on Deion no matter what, right? And I'm taking those people out of
Jackson
this.
State,
I mean, no, because he left Jackson,
Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
There are those folks who are like, because he left us, we're going to like hate on him no matter what. I'm taking that aside. I'm talking about the people who are literally hating on Deion just because they want to break him. And I also think about like how we celebrated Johnny Football for doing the worst, for committing domestic violence, for being drunk, for doing drugs,
the money
all this type
sign
of
all
stuff.
over the yes,
we celebrated
right.
him
again,
and then was like Cam Newton is a distraction and
1,000%.
disgrace.
Yes.
I forgot the guy who's at the Washington Commanders or whatever. Their quarterback, Jameis Winston. Same thing. Like all of these black athletes, we've always crapped on them.
Yeah,
We've always said they were a problem,
standards,
and they shouldn't be here.
Lamar Jackson, like right, is like you know, and you're right. I mean, there was an article that just recently came out that talked about like for years the NFL in the combine and the coaches like consistently like purposely devalued black quarterbacks. And so black quarterbacks weren't getting drafted until this year. This was the first year where I think in the first 4 picks, 3 of them were black quarterbacks, which was like rare, right? To see that. And so you're absolutely right. I mean, it does. And I mean, this isn't just I mean, people called Obama arrogant.
Yeah.
And it's like Obama didn't even have that type of attitude. But because like, how dare you think you can be president of the United States, nigger? It was kind of that thing of like, just because he wanted to be president of the United States, like he's arrogant now. And Lord forbid he wore a tan suit and everybody lost their mind. I mean, it's just so the standard that we're judged at as black people when it comes to success is so vastly different. If it ain't white supremacy and white privilege, then what is it? Trouble?
So I think that ironically within racism and white supremacy culture, there is a deep-seated inferiority complex that only gets triggered when they see black people being great.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like they see us doing great things.
Yes.
They see us standing in our greatness.
Yes.
And they get reminded, that's why we don't like them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they just go off.
It's interesting because
I think there's a vaccination for that stuff.
yes,
Shout out to Ron.
matter of fact, you know,
on the
yes,
podcast.
Dr. Adolko, if you haven't seen the episode, The Doctor of Racism, you should look up our interview with Dr. Adolko. But I was going to say there was a clip that was going around that kind of went viral on Instagram where it talked about it was a white man who was saying if black men are successful in coaching, what do we have left?
Yeah.
He was basically saying, like, when you look on the field, you see mostly black players. You know what I'm saying? The NFL is predominantly black. Of course, the NBA is predominantly black. And so the idea, he was like, if you take coaching from us as white men,
What do we have left?
What will we have left? We have nothing left. And so that went viral because of all the backlash that Deion got just for being successful, just for winning. Super fascinating. You have some final comments, Miracle?
I was going to try to find a way to like rope in Ben. I think his name was Ben. I want to say Ben Norton, but he was the the person who went to the U.S. Open. He was biracial, and
I think it was Ben Shelton.
Ben something.
Yeah.
And even they were talking about like his hang up when he would win, and even that they were trying to say was a problem. And then when the other person who won,
Djokovic won,
and then they were like, "Oh, that's so great! He did the hang up celebration."
Yes.
And I was trying to like loop that in, but like I'm not a white man.
Yeah, I mean,
so
you tell me, come on, Miracle. When you look at like not to go super old school, but John McEnroe.
Yeah, man, come on.
The dude was throwing.
Come on, man. McEnroe was a savage.
Screaming, yelling, and people celebrated that behavior.
Yeah, the bad boy of tennis,
but then Serena, remember what Serena did?
And they were like, she's a big baby.
And they drew like comic strips, like, you know, trying to like, you know, masculinize her. Like, if that's a word, I don't know if that's a word. But so, yeah, I mean, we've seen this over and over again. Go ahead.
But again, like I said, I'm not a white man, but this idea that like you have to have something is rooted in white supremacy.
1,000%.
This idea that you need something to own is like rooted in white supremacy. Okay, you can't coach, but you can still play. You can still be on the side. You can be a fan. This idea, like, what do we have left? You have the whole sport. There's so many things.
It's called the world.
You can do it, but you can experience things. And I think that's the problem is like people feel like they have to own something, but it's like you can just experience. You can just experience a game. You can just see yourself in the players. There's all types of positions out there on the field where y'all be running and getting stuff on the plays and things. So I just don't get it.
So just question. I mean, do you think maybe something happened historically that makes white people believe they have to own something?
Maybe
something happened historically.
I heard about something like that. Didn't it happen a while ago?
Yeah, a while ago. Right?
Why are we still talking about it if it happened so long ago?
Still ongoing.
Right.
But no, that's real. Like it's got to be yours too. And I'm sure that is rooted in, just like you said, you owned us. And it's like, how dare one of our niggas? And it like, we built this. We gave you this. We created this game. We gave you this opportunity. And as a black person, you should be thankful and grateful and humble and on your knees. Man, that day is over, man. It's 2023, man. Get the hell out of here with that. You had more, Miracle?
I mean, I look again. There's gaming.
Yes.
Well, no, Kai's.
You're just naming all the stuff that white people can do.
Kai's a gamer and a streamer. But it's just like, I mean, black people are in golf, black people are in tennis, and hockey.
Yeah.
It's just, you should just go and have fun and be like, okay, maybe you can be a coach.
Yeah.
But I think it's also the idea of like, what do we have left? It's also like, what did you earn? Because a lot of these I know we were talking about our last conversation. We were talking about these football coaches that fell up. But I remember the whole thing was like Miami, the guy, they already had picked the next player.
Yes.
You know, right?
Brian Flores, who was the head coach of Miami, who's currently suing the NFL
for discriminatory practices.
Discriminatory hiring process. Right. They brought him in for an interview, but they had already chosen the coach. I think it was Tennessee. They'd already chosen the coach that they wanted. Absolutely.
It was Bill Belichick that blew that open, right?
Yeah, yes, they did.
And so, like, you're upset that this, like, you're going to now have to earn something. So I think it's two part. It's like, I can't own this, and now I have to work for something. I think that's why we're seeing this whole tension with education and did you earn it? Because now black people have receipts. Like, I earned. I went to this school. I did this thing, and now it's like, oh crap.
Yeah,
they hit the metrics. So what do we have?
You took away affirmative action from us, so I guess we got to earn it as well. Now, when we have success, what choice do you have?
What's your excuse when we achieve it?
But I love when Deion said, like, catch us now, because when you look at like all what he brought to Colorado, so many players are going to want to play there, just because just all the atmosphere that he's created in that school. And so, to me, it's just going to be continued success for him as a coach. I also just
want to point out that Colorado, I think, only won one game last year.
Yeah, they were terrible. They were the worst. They were the worst team, yes.
This idea that you need to break Colorado down, they've already beat their record.
Come on, man. Yeah.
They don't have to win another game this season.
And they've already improved by 300%.
A winning record.
And they've gotten more press and support as a university. He's already paid for his contract like fourfold. Like, there are colleges that are angry that they did not hire him themselves. But again, now it opens up for other, former players, other black coaches to get into that pipeline. And that's another reason you got to break them down, because you don't want to see the floodgates open to other black coaches possibly getting these opportunities. I just want to
add one more thing and I'm done, because I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, go ahead, Mary.
I also think the issue is that you see, I think it was Offset who said you go into the locker room, he has a DJ, he has hip hop playing.
Yes.
He has, I think you're also seeing in comparison and contrast to like the coach from Alabama. And these other coaches that we've seen.
Who would you rather play for?
No, but I'm saying these coaches.
Mean ass Nick Saban.
No.
Nigga never smile. They be winning 70-0. He'd still be upset.
But I think it was a coach in Florida who said he was going to he like attacked a player. We've seen coaches like use racism against players. And I think also what you're seeing is coaches kind of band together, because now they're going to have to treat black athletes like black people.
Like human beings.
and now they're going to have to, now there's a standard for other athletes to compare to when they say you have to cut your hair, or when they say you can't listen to this type of music, or you can't be in community. Now other colleges are going to have to redo their sports program. And I think that's also why you're seeing coaches go after Deion, because if Deion at Colorado, which is a PWI, is doing this, why now are you at a coach at the HBCU saying a rapper can't come in the locker room or a rapper can't come to the game, right? And you saw, I think it was like University of Penn, I think one of the Penns had like Sexy Red, right? Come through.
Yeah.
Like, now you can't say this looks bad on the organization of the university. And it's also why colleges are trying to like really push back, because now you're going to have to make the black experience welcoming for all. And you don't.
Who would have thought that on our show, when we open up talking about sports, Miracle would have been had all the smoke, had everything, right? Had everything, man.
She's very well versed.
Miracle's like, I don't know this. What's my favorite Miracle quote? I don't do the sports. But clearly, that was a lie.
I don't do the sports, but I like the athletes.
Yes. Well, speaking of welcoming,
oh man, that was a great sequence.
Apparently,
that was fucking great.
Everybody is not welcoming. So let's get it. Vivek Ramaswamy,
and he got the name right,
is running for president, and he is really kind of like Trump 2.0, right? And as a Indian American,
Right.
he is basically like pushing back on anything that has to do with like immigration, anything. Right?
We're gonna find out, but isn't Vivek an anchor baby?
Turns out that his father, do you have the interview? Vivek's dad is not a U.S. citizen. Now, mind you, here's Vivek who's saying, right?
He's gonna repeal H-1 visas.
Yes, he said that
he's gonna deport migrant children.
Hold on. He said he wanted to end the H-1B visa program.
Yeah.
That he himself used.
How many times?
29 times for his business. This is a system that helps people use highly skilled foreign workers, right? So he wants to end that, even though his own companies used it, right? He's on record as saying that he wants to deport children of undocumented parents. Even if that child was born in the United States and is an American citizen, he believes they should be with their undocumented parents. Well, guess what, Vivek?
Hey, Vivek, do you own any mirrors, my nigga? I'm saying, bruv.
Hey, Vivek,
you just described yourself, man.
Hey, Vivek, you might want to look up a one-way plane ticket back to India, my brother.
Man.
Because his dad now, his father, is not a citizen.
And we're going to hear it here.
Yes. Let's hear this interview.
I think that every immigrant who comes to this country in order to become a full voting citizen has to do the same. And I believe in being consistent about my policies where...
So your father is not a citizen of the United States?
He's not.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And your mother...
And one of the things that they were saying was Vivek was talking, all his conversation was about his mom. Because his mom took the citizenship and test and became a citizen. And I guess somebody was like, well, how come he don't talk about his dad? And his dad is not a citizen. Just more hypocrisy?
I have so many questions because has your father, because I know how immigrant parents are, having two of them myself.
Yes.
It's not about you, but continue.
She says very light skinned of you to make it about you. Make it about yourself.
Has your father expressed his disdain or disappointment in you? Right.
That's a great question.
And what is it like when you go home now?
Yeah.
And have this conversation? So are you erasing your father from
yes
everything?
Yes, he is.
Are we not allowed to post photos of
He's
you
not
as
in
a family?
pictures. No.
Yeah, that's the question.
His dad is not on his social media.
So is your shame the root of what you're running against? Are you running?
Oh, wow. Okay,
are you running to compete against your own shame?
Was you abused as a child?
They called you ugly? Well, life is harsh. Hug me. Don't reject me. Or make policies to disrespect me blatant and indirectly.
He was like, do you have a problem with your father? And is this why you're saying this policy? Because you want to get back at your father?
No, I think it is weird because, again, you're telling people, we can't vote unless we take a citizen's test.
Right.
What? The one that your dad didn't take?
Right. And you said it, and you tried to say very coyly that was his choice. Well,
of course it's his choice.
Yeah, it is his choice. So where do you get off now being this right-wing crusader that is campaigning and caping for this acceptance of someone, of a group of people who will never see you as their own?
Never see you as fully equal. But I think that's the question, Vivek. Would you deport your dad?
But that is a nuanced discussion. That's a nuanced discussion from a lot of first gens.
Yeah.
Where do you go? How do you assimilate? Do you choose to assimilate? And how do you align yourself? I want to know, okay, so clearly he's identifies as Christian, so his family has a Christian background. That's fine. But you never experienced racism or other?
Never experienced racism, no.
You were never relegated?
Well, he probably did experience racism
when he tried to do the Eminem lyrics?
When he stepped behind that mic and tried to rap in front of a group of black people at his high school.
And they was like, get this nigga off the stage.
Food and tomatoed off the stage. And then he was like, from now on, niggas, it's on.
But no, I mean, I think but Vivek's existence in this realm begs the conversation for a lot of people who identify as immigrants or migrants or however he's phrasing it. Yeah. Because this is a very real conversation in a lot of different circles, right? Not only how do you identify, but how do you present in the face of white people?
And I think what happens is in the scope of things, right? Because
Does he have brothers and sisters?
I don't know. We got to check their immigration status. I mean, it's only right, Vivek. I mean, we got to see where they at. You know what I'm saying?
Christ.
But this is the fascinating thing, because what the GOP race has basically become is the race to see who's the most white supremacist.
Yes.
Right? But like you said, because Vivek is an Indian American, he can never fully be accepted in the white supremacist circles, right? This is why they were also saying, like, Tim Scott had to, like, make up an imaginary girlfriend, right?
Because it's not imaginary. What does Miracle say?
Because if Tim Scott...
Look, I'm right here.
Right. Because if... Oh, she's right. But if Tim Scott says he's gay... Right? You're not going to fully be accepted into white supremacist circles. And so now here's Vivek. Now your dad is not a citizen. It's already bad enough to them that you're Indian American, right?
Yes.
No matter how much you try to... So, like, because you're a child of an immigrant, now you want to get rid of all the immigrants? Like, you're running on that policy of... Let's get rid of children of undocumented immigrants. And now it comes out, lo and behold, look at God. You mean like you, Vivek? You know what I'm saying? So it is fascinating to see. And of course, he's going to try to do some type of word salad or word play. The debate is coming up. I guess the debate is this week. It's going to be fascinating to see if somebody comes at him. Like if Nikki Haley's like, well, Vivek, both my Indian parents are citizens of the United States, unlike yours.
It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be very interesting to see how this becomes like ammunition for the debates, right?
Absolutely.
Not only for the Democrats, but also for the Republicans that are trying to...
really because the Democrats don't care.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's the Republicans who are fighting. You know, Vivek is kind of, raised in stature in that, in terms of his polling data. So now what you think DeSantis and them boys going to do? You know what I'm saying? Probably drag your father. And again, like, you deserve it. Because you spent your last...
you opened up this can of worms, bro.
You don't want no immigrants to get... You don't want foreign people to get jobs to a visa program.
But you want
American-born citizens to get kicked out.
Hot take. What if they look at it and be like, he is willing to sacrifice his father, so we should vote for him. Maybe he's the type of the type of brown person we want.
If this nigga goes out and says, "Hey, yo, dad, get out," I sacrificed my father. Get out the country, dad. Hey, yo, that would be.
And we called ICE. They're right there. Get them.
Miracle, what's your take on Vivek's father, undocumented dad?
It's a horrible way to say that. I believe he is a resident with a green card. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, got you.
PRA.
He's probably not undocumented. I mean, no disrespect.
But all the disrespect to Vivek.
All disrespect.
I am never okay when there's any type of conversation when it talks about revoking access to America for a couple reasons. Number one being the Dred Scott decision.
Yes.
When they were like, black people can never be citizens.
Yeah.
Not only can black people never be citizens, but their children can never be citizens.
Correct.
We are always going to be the people impacted by any type of change in immigration. And so I will never be like less immigration, number one.
Yes.
Number two, you can't talk about changing immigration without talking about changing America's position with war, imperialism, and colonialization in the global South.
Yes.
So until we literally stop interfering with other people's...
You can't say global South because the earth is flat.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, the global South is a political
so you can't use the word
concept of talking about
you can't
black and brown countries and black and brown led run nations and nation states. And so again, until we basically change our foreign policy, let all the immigrants come, let all the refugees come.
Everybody.
Like everybody. And we have enough room for everybody. We have enough resources for everybody. So those are the first two things.
That sounds familiar.
That sounds like socialism, Miracle.
Wasn't there like a statue in New York that talked about bring me your tired, you're poor, you're... Now in New York, they want like no migrants at all. It's just, my God.
I do want to push back on something that you said.
Oh, what is it?
Because you called him Trump 2.0.
Yes.
But I feel like he's more like Trump light. Like he's like the Trump you would find at Aldi or something.
Oh wow, he's Aldi's Trump.
Yeah, facts. He's like the knockoff brand for.
That's hilarious.
Not even 2.0. Can't even make it.
Yes.
The problem with people like Vivek is, and we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
is this idea that people entertain white supremacy because they think that as long as they can direct white supremacy to hurt other people, that they will be okay. And in this situation, you're literally seeing him almost throw his father to the wayside, you know, and be like, well, I'll be okay and my mom will be okay. Oopsie, oh well, he's not going to be okay, but it is what it is. I think we have to understand that there are so many people who cleave to white supremacy for this very reason. And instead of basically stop being white supremacists or having the space to create a better world, they're like, okay, who can I get white supremacy to target so I can do the thing, so I can run the scam, so I can get the money, so I can run for president.
Him and your man Scam God need to link up, man.
Yes.
Like, yo, Scam God and Vivek,
Santos.
yo, man, listen.
Yeah.
That would be a hell of a ticket right there.
I mean, you know, they should
That would be the new face of America.
They should be like the Hypocrisy party. Like George Santos is like openly against drag shows and was a whole drag queen. Like,
listen,
what are you talking about? Yeah, it is fascinating.
George said he just had fun a couple of times.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is?
What would their logo be? Like, what would their mascot be?
Definitely
like
not a mirror. Like,
definitely not a mirror.
So, you know, I don't know why we waited this long into the show to talk about it, because there are some very, very serious issues that we have to address. That's happening in America right now. Very serious, man. You know what I'm saying?
We have to address.
I peeped that too.
He threw it. Listen, he threw it up, bro. I came off the backboard through the legs. Yes. Pow.
But again, man, I mean, I think like it's, you know, we're seeing poverty at all-time high.
Right.
We're seeing homelessness at an all-time high.
It's crazy how much of a discussion that has been now on the news.
Yeah.
Homelessness is like now like a leading story every night on every news network.
People are struggling. People are losing their jobs. You know what I'm saying? You know, all of these things are happening globally, right? Wars and famine and pestilence.
Almost like it's the end of days.
Yes.
Wasn't there a book that prophesies this?
And you know what else is the end of days?
What is that?
As if things couldn't get worse. Now they want to wear shorts in the Senate, man.
Jesus
Come
Christ,
on, man.
What next?
Shorts in the Senate?
Cats and dogs getting along. What's next? Can anybody name that movie?
The world is ending. Oh, that's Ghostbusters.
Yes!
The world is ending.
Yes!
So in things,
like their best friend.
So in things that bother the Republicans that have nothing to do with our lives.
Yo, I'm impressed. That was great. That was great.
Chuck Schumer relaxed a Senate rule around the dress code because our senator, John Fetterman, he liked to get his hoodie and shorts on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The man liked to be comfortable when he decides what type of policies he's going to put forth to support Pennsylvanians.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to go the whole other way.
Problem with. I like to be comfortable. Like, to me, dress codes do have a white supremacist overtone to this.
And you know where they're mostly enforced? Schools.
Oh, 1,000%.
Say it again.
Schools.
Yes. The idea that if I have to wear a certain type of clothing,
I don't go places where they have dress codes
to do my job properly, right? And a lot of times, like, this is how you police black people, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, but you got Tim's on, can't come into the club with
no
Tim's
sneakers,
on,
athletic
shorts,
wear, no baseball caps, no sports teams.
Yes. And so the idea that people are going crazy, like, I mean, do we see what's happened in the Senate? I don't know what goes on there.
Miracle, didn't you have a take on this?
I did have a take.
What's your take, Miracle?
I thought it was very interesting that people are very upset about John Fetterman.
Yes.
And I'm going to say shout out to Chuck for changing
the
rules. That's very white supremacy. It is a bastion of white supremacy that white people get to have rules changed for them
1,000%
for their own comfort. When we look at Tennessee, and they basically were like, Justin, I will kick you out of this body if you have your dashiki in here one more time.
Niggas showed up in the dashiki day one. They was like, oh, hell no.
And then it was like, you need to get another job if you think you can come in here with that afro and that shirt. And again, I am happy the rules are changing.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with that, like, happened with COVID-19. Black people, disabled people had asked for all of these accommodations.
Absolutely.
And you're like, no, we can't do it. We can't do it. You know, we're a rigorous institution.
Yes.
COVID-19 happens and now we're all hybrid, right?
Yes.
And then COVID, we think goes away and it's like, oh, wait, sorry. Now we're back to the drawing board.
Yes.
And so, again, I'm happy Chuck changed the rules for John Fetterman, but when we were talking about the way people were dressed, when we were talking about the way AOC was dressed, when all of the freshman senators and Congress people were talking about they did not have enough money, 2-3 years ago coming in, where was the change in dress code and policies and procedures then?
Yeah.
And again, John is Senator Fetterman is a person who's making good policies, fighting for Pennsylvania, and again, the dress code should have been changed, but it should have been changed a long time ago.
Absolutely.
And I think that part of creating a people's house is that people have to be able to see themselves in these politicians and have to be able to feel comfortable going to these places. And let's be honest, they're in suits and ties. We've said for years, most of the most violent, evil, horrendous people on this planet wake up every day and put on a suit and tie.
1,000%.
Say that, Miracle.
Yes. 1,000%.
And so this idea that because you look professional, you should be respected. Well, no.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at like mass murderers and killers, you talk about like atomic bombs being dropped. It was dropped by people in suit and ties. You're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? So this was with Kansas Senator Roger Marshall said it's a sad day in the Senate. I represent the people of Kansas. And much like when I get dressed up to go to a wedding, it's to honor the bride and groom. You go to a funeral, you get dressed up to honor the family deceased. He said they should have a certain level of decorum. Response.
I mean, a lot of the laws that you're passing are oppressing people. So are you going with your fancy dress on to oppress people? You want to feel good about subjugation? Is that why you're dressing the way that you're dressing? So you want to emulate and cosplay as an oppressor for your entire existence?
1,000%.
That's fine.
Yeah. And
fuck you, but that's fine.
Because the reality is, like, to the people of Kansas or anywhere, right? We feel the repercussions of what you vote on.
Absolutely.
We're not looking at what you are wearing.
And
are the policies that you're creating helping me? Is it helping me to live every day more comfortably? Is it helping, women to have rights to their own body, right? Is it helping people overcome poverty or unemployment or houselessness? Are those policies, is it helping
I just had a thought.
Is it helping to help us when it comes to like police brutality or being profiled? That's what we're looking at. We don't give a damn what you're wearing.
What if his next appearance, whether it's a debate or like a large something, Vivek dresses up culturally as an Indian person?
We'll see how fast those votes go away.
That would be
Think if he showed up
mad.
to the debate in that time. Oh, come on, bro. There would be no more votes. But that's the thing, is like, kind of like what Miracle said, like part of white privilege is you have the ability to be yourself.
Right.
And we know.
Even the white people, and that's to go back to what Miracle said, even Nancy Pelosi was allowed to wear kente cloth and Justin wasn't. That's what's fucking nuts.
But
that's wild.
But this is the reality, right? And, again, Senator Fetterman, one of the most progressive senators. I don't know if we have one hoodies that go up that high, but let's send him a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Let's send him a hoodie to wear on the Senate floor. I think that would be dope. But we know if a black candidate ran wearing hoodies and shorts, it will be viewed differently. He will be viewed as unprofessional. He will be viewed in a way where we wouldn't be able to generate those votes, right? They went crazy. We mentioned it earlier when Obama wore a tan suit. These white people lost their minds.
To be honest, I don't even remember
one
that.
day.
When did it happen?
This was early on in his presidency.
Easter had that tan, and everybody was.
Suit.
I gotta look it up.
And they were like, "How dare he disrespect the president of the United States?" And so we realized this. You know what I'm saying?
He's dropping drones. And only people cared about the tan.
100%, right. And I think Fetterman will be honest. He understands that. Like, because he is a white man, he can dress like that.
And people was upset at the tan suit.
People were, not upset. Like, Fox News went on like 24-hour like tan suit watch. They were furious.
And this is 2014, so I was here. I don't remember this at all.
They were furious over the tan suit.
It has its own Wikipedia thing.
Right.
The tan suit controversy.
And you were going to say,
now y'all know I'm a fall girl, and I love a tracksuit.
Yes.
I love a matching outfit during the fall.
Yes.
I want to see Fetterman step his game up a little more. I want to move beyond like the hoodie and the shorts. I feel like he would do a tracksuit,
like a Nike Tech,
You know what I'm saying?
Put a balaclava on too.
Roadman
Fetterman.
he got the beard. I feel like he can go like full on, just like Adidas
Tracksuit mafia.
Yeah.
I don't want to call because we're in Pittsburgh. I don't want to like evoke that like stereotype.
True.
People get mad at me, but
Absolutely.
like I think he could.
Yeah.
I want to see Fetterman with the drip. I feel like he could do it, and he maybe even get a gold chain.
One hood.
Just like
you gotta send him some one hood.
I just just one day make him real angry on the day like Colorado's gonna play.
Come out some food.
Show with a gold chain.
Oh, show him and some sunglasses. John Fetterman went full Dion. The Colorado hoodie. Hey yo, let's make him mad. I love it.
The day they do the marijuana cannabis legislation hearings, that's what I want. Just to make a thing out of it. But I do know that he's still in recovery.
Yeah,
I know he's recovery from the stroke, and a lot of times having someone with physical disability, sometimes just having something you can pull on, it makes it easier just to get up in the morning. Absolutely. And I also think that when we're talking about professionalism, sometimes clothes are very like ableist, and again, it's not intentional, but like sometimes you need clothes that you can pull on, stuff doesn't have a zipper or a button. And thinking about when we're talking about these levels of professionalism, I always look at professionalism as saying, who do we not want in the room?
That's what it is,
and
really.
Who do we not want in the space? And who can we price out of being in the space?
That's what it is. Because there's even a cost attached to dressing in a certain manner and what to wear. There's a cost attached to that. You had something you want to say, Charlie?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if these are the people that are supposed to be representing America, I feel like having them dress in suits every day, the majority of America does not wake up and put on suits every single day.
Absolutely.
The majority of us dress like we do, regularly, comfortably. You know what I'm saying? So if representation is their whole thing, I would like to see that also represented in the way they dress as well.
It should be. And on the flip side, like Miracle said, while laws are being changed for a Fetterman to dress more comfortably in Texas, even though Texas passed the Crown Act, this is how it is to be black in America. Like, we literally have to pass laws so you don't discriminate against our hairstyles. We're not even talking about clothes. We're not even talking about clothes we're wearing.
The hair that naturally grows out of our head.
Hair that naturally grows out of our head, if it's put in a particular style, scares white people.
That's the only way to phrase it.
God damn. And so we have to pass laws so you don't discriminate against black people's hairstyles, but yet and still a high school in Texas suspended a student because of the way he wore.
He's repeatedly suspended.
His hair. Yeah, he's been repeatedly suspended, given in-school suspension, and now out-of-school suspension because how he wears his hair. Their dress code mandates a male student's hair will not extend at any time below the eyebrows or below the earlobes or below the top of a t-shirt collar. And because his locks are pinned back or pulled back, his hair falls below that length. What does that have to do with what the curriculum says?
Nothing.
What does that have to do with whether you're doing your homework on time? Again, these are these oppressive laws meant to try to like constrain you into a box when everybody doesn't fit inside those boxes. And so now he's suing not only the school, but he's suing the governor of Texas.
Good.
Because Texas isn't standing up for him. It says the lawsuit says the governor of Texas and the attorney general allowed the school to violate the Crown Act and that it's not being enforced on that school. So, I mean, I think this is where we are, and this is what we see happening right now as those in the best conditions and the highest levels of power.
They're extended every single privilege. They're extended
I don't
every
believe
courtesy and aspect of grace.
Right. And I think there might have been like 3 or 4 black senators all time.
Right.
And then now on the ground with the rest of us, we got to fight to go to school with some locks. You know what I'm saying? Just to show how crazy things is. I don't know if we had time. There was a story that I did want to talk about before we went away, because when you see something and you think like, yo, this happened in 2023. The headline says, white neighbor,
I knew you was going there,
allegedly hoses down prominent black dinner party guest. Hey, yo. Now imagine the scenario, Trouble. You're a successful black doctor. This doctor, and I'm going to mispronounce his name, but I believe it's Doriso. That's probably wrong. But he was the first doctor to get the COVID vaccine. He was the first, I think he might have been the first the first physician to receive the COVID vaccine. Successful doctor, he's having a party. Here come the Karens, right? They got the party. It was like, yo, he had doctor friends there, celebrity friends there. They said, but as things started to draw to a close, an unidentified white woman showed up with a large, menacing German shepherd. And she said, yo, I'm going to take y'all back. We're going to make America great again. She came with the hose and the dog. She demanded the music playing in the backyard be turned down.
That's crazy.
When the effort to silence the plaintiffs and end their celebration didn't happen fast enough, the party abruptly and forcibly ended when a white neighbor grabbed his backyard hose. Nigga went full Birmingham, Alabama.
That's fucking nuts, man.
And started hosing the guests to get them to disperse. Hoses and dogs unleashed on you and your backyard party.
Where'd the hose come from? That's the thing, like...
History. It came from history. A history of oppression. Nigga pulled that hose out.
That's crazy.
Right.
That gives a new meaning to where the hose at.
Man.
Oh, you want some hose, nigga? Oh, my God. Oh, it said he turned his hose on guests again and again, continually increasing the water pressure until they were not only drenched, but thoroughly humiliated. Hey, yo.
You would have had to fight.
Yeah, I would say,
bro,
at that point, it's arms out, bro. Like, yo, you're getting done up.
A candidate from Queens, a Queens district attorney candidate was there and said, I was appalled and disgusted that water hosing and German shepherds were being used against people of color in New York City in 2022. You thought these white people forgot? He was like, what?
That shit is crazy.
What makes black, they were sitting in their house like, what makes black people disperse? What are they afraid of?
Carol, you home? Do you have your dog? Can I borrow your dog just really fast? I just want to try something for TikTok. I'll bring him right back. Thank you, Carol.
Miracle, do you have any comment on?
There's no way like that.
I mean, and it's assault, right? And I know there's like a lawsuit going on.
It's assault.
But this is assault.
And it would have been more.
This should have been like ethnic intimidation, a hate crime, everything.
This is all
like
of that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying there should be self-defense, right?
There should, absolutely.
There should have been self-defense because
you're not going to dehumanize me.
Because listen, young or old, you get a hose.
Hey, yo.
I'm gonna strangle you with that fucking
hose.
No,
I'm afraid for my life.
That dog ain't gonna make it neither.
You spraying me with water. You're trying to drown me. And black people can't swim. It is a hate crime. It is murder, and I have to defend my life.
Yeah.
But no, I think that is wild.
Yeah.
And most noise ordinance says after 11. Or after 10 or 11. Again, we're talking about gentrification. And this idea that you think you can own things.
Yes.
And if you're uncomfortable, it's not moving at your pace, then,
Yes.
you can assault people.
Yes.
This is assault. This man should have been in jail.
Right. It's like these niggas aren't moving fast enough for me.
So it was a man that did
Get
this.
the hose. Yes, it was.
She started
the woman
it.
came with the German.
Right, okay.
That's crazy.
It was a
dog?
conspiracy.
What-
Do
what-
black people
what if this
afraid
is
of the most?
It was a conspiracy.
and
What
wait,
if this is their couple's date?
Wait.
It's like, oh yeah.
And they're German nationals. The people,
No.
yes.
No.
They're German nationals.
Not to a Haitian American.
Yes.
Wow.
World War III, man. That's how it's going to start.
It's very weird
Oh
how
my
like
God.
world policies
Yes.
become very
Yeah.
lived everyday experiences because
The person's name is
Crazy.
Rose Brock. It says a German national denies any allegations in the complaint and rejects the characterization that he's racist or his actions were racially
How
motivated.
old is he?
Have you seen Eyes on the Prize, my nigga? That shit is racially motivated. And of course, they called the police.
John Legend was there?
Oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
Sprayed him up. Sprayed him up.
We're just ordinary people. And they- I just can imagine
We don't know which way to go.
like Chrissy Teigen making faces and shit.
Oh,
Oh,
my
my
God.
face, man.
Of course, they called the police.
Man.
And there's been no follow up for the police since this. And I think it shows also too, like,
Man.
it doesn't, again, it's going back to Dion. It doesn't matter that we get success in this country.
Yeah, this
You know
man's
what I'm
a decorated physician.
He's his house is they said it's a $2 million house. He's celebrating his career with his people.
and engagement.
And you get hit with fire hoses and German Shepherds, man, in
Crazy.
2022, man. So
But
that,
story of
post-racial.
OJ.
I guess that's what happens when we try to sing a rhythm and dance the blues. They spray us with water
Man.
and unleash dogs.
It's a great episode. This is must-see TV.
Sing a rhythm. This is our white pages of the week. Monique Morris, sing a rhythm, dance a blues, education for the liberation of black and brown girls. Author of Push Out. So Monique and Push Out was a powerful book as well. So Monique Morris, that's our white pages. We have any happenings happening?
We would like to wish a happy birthday to
Yes.
the Sultan of Sleeping In, the Prince of Push Off, DJ QRX, man. Yo, more life
Yes.
to you, my
Yes.
brother. Large
Yes.
up, large up.
Cat Daddy.
The cat daddy, the cat daddy himself.
No,
We should.
we're not gonna do that.
Shout out to all the striking workers.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout out. It's coming out that some tentative agreements are being made
Yes.
all across. Right before Biden was supposed to join people on the picket line.
Yes.
Everybody seems to understand like we need to support labor in order,
Yes.
in order to make sure people have living wages
Absolutely.
and safe working spaces. So shout out to all the people striking when you get all the things you want.
Absolutely. Supposedly a tentative agreement has been reached between the writers and Hollywood.
Yeah.
And so also shout out to the United Auto Workers that's on strike. All of those people that they get fair, livable wages that they deserve. So we definitely in solidarity and support of all of those folks. Anything else your way, Trouble?
October 6th, we can sing a rhythm and dance a blues.
Minus the dogs and the hoses.
Yes, minus the dogs and hoses at the Jane, formerly known as J. Verno Studios. One of the first places that Wiz performed. I learned this morning.
Oh,
yeah.
dope.
So
Very
it's a
dope.
full circle moment. Come out, enjoy us. We have me, Roger Humphreys, Pena. We'll be, setting the vibe.
Setting the vibe. All right. Final words, Bruce, man. Anything going on in your world, brother? All right, man. With that being said, Miracle, you had something?
Oh no! Shout out! I had a great weekend.
Yes.
But
And
yeah.
Philly, and we'll be back soon. But until next time, it's been this week in White Supremacy. Peace. One hood, y'all.